You learnt in the previous lesson that the rules of the air which apply in any nation state which is an Icao contracting state will, in general, follow the internationally agreed Icao standards for rules of the air as laid down in Annex 2 of the Convention on International Civil Aviation. However, you have also learnt that each Icao contracting state, while undertaking to endeavour to apply the Icao agreed rules, may interpret the Icao rules in the context of its own particular requirements. You know too that when any rule of a contracting state's national rules of the air differs from the Icao rules, that state files a difference with Icao, and then that state's national rule has precedence over the Icao rule. In general, then, you will find that, taken as a whole, the rules of the air of any Icao contracting state in which you fly will be very similar indeed to the rules of any other contracting state. But as a pilot in command, it is your responsibility to be familiar with any national differences and to give those differences precedence over Icao rules of the air. The Joint Aviation Authorities and the European Aviation Safety Agency are organisations which have undertaken to seek to normalise the aviation regulations of their member states by bringing them into line with Icao standards. As this computer-based training course is a course for students studying for a JAR FCL pilot's licence, the rules of the air taught in this course are the internationally agreed Icao rules of the air laid down in Annex 2 of the Icao Convention on International Civil Aviation. Here is the contents page of Icao Annex 2 Rules of the Air. Scroll through it and take a look at the topics covered. First of all, you will see that Chapter 1 contains definitions of words, expressions, and concepts used in Annex 2. Here is the first page of the Icao Annex 2 definitions. You must ensure that you learn all these definitions, and be sure too that you always consult the latest edition of Icao Annex 2. Chapter 2 of the Annex deals with the applicability of rules of the air. This topic has already been covered in the introductory lesson to this section. All the main subjects contained in the contents to Annex 2 will be covered in this section on rules of the air. But air law is an immense corpus of knowledge, and no course on air law can cover every aspect and nuance of the law. So, as a student of air law, whatever course you follow, or whatever textbook you read, it is always wise to be familiar with the latest source documentation, which actually embodies Icao air law. In this CBT course, we will not follow exactly the order of the rules of the air contained in the menu to Annex 2. We will begin by covering the general concepts of the visual flight rules and the instrument flight rules before dealing with the more general rules of the air.